officials announcing yesterday that the state's budget stabilization fund has reached $968.3 million, or just under a billion, some might say. The fund reached its maximum after the state ended the 2023 fiscal year in the black with a $141 million surplus. That triggered a cascade that distributed the surplus funding into certain accounts, including the budget stabilization fund. In addition, $65 million of surplus funding is being distributed to Maine housing to address housing insecurity. $35 million will be used to build affordable rental units in rural Maine through the Rural Affordable Rental Housing Program. The remaining $30 million will be used to help incentivize the production of low-income housing through the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program.